Today I'm going to talk on momentum energy, its importance in IST, and how it connects with everything that we do. Why is momentum energy important? How to do it? And what benefits you'll get as you continue on this journey in practicing the IST program. So, momentum energy is simply no separation. Momentum energy is the foundation that allows for you to be tone. Okay? Tone is the part where everything flows really well. We often use the metaphor of like a piping system with water. If it flows well, everything keeps moving. When you turn on it, you keep it running, everything keeps moving. When there is tension, when there is leaking energy, then the tone becomes compromised, and therefore the energy will get stuck in different parts of the body, and then therefore you won't have the harmonious relationship of upper and lower and the connection to the ground. Also, tone and part of the momentum energy, why we have that is very obvious, because in internal system, everything is a circle. It's not a line. So momentum energy is not a line. Momentum energy is always a circle. Whether we go down the front, we come up the back. Whether we go to the right, we go to the left, everything is moving in a circle. And the importance of momentum energy plays out in all the practice that we do. So let's look at between the stillness training and the dynamic movement training that makes up the totality of IST. In stillness training, when we're doing the arm bridge, we're making a circle. Qi Min Lock, Hao Bin Cern, down the front, up the back. So the qualities of JFM becomes more and more relevant, because the energy can only move when you open up all the joints. The energy can only move when you start to expand this balloon. So creating a pathway, a highway for energy to flow. Okay? As you continue to hang all the muscles, now you have this network of freeways within your internal system that can move to your arm, your right and left side, to the legs. Everything has this network that's very intelligent, that knows how to move. And ultimately, it knows where to go to its destination, back to your dantian, the stomach. Okay? Whether it goes from the arms to your dantian, the legs, it goes back to your dantian. That's the headquarter. That's the commander. But it has to make this cycle from top to bottom so it can go back to your dantian. Now, this momentum energy in the stillness training, as you do it more and more, then you learn to recognize that quality in stillness. Remember, in stillness, we have motion. The motion is the momentum energy. You're not moving, but you're learning to open up internally, so you feel this flow. Okay? You feel this flow. And once you have it in stillness, now when you engage in dynamic movement, that momentum energy, which is synonymous whenever I say no separation, active releasing, that's momentum energy, right? when we're doing, let's say, the Tai Chi form, that energy is constantly flowing. It's not stagnated. That's why the importance of proper alignment, the importance of a loosened hip allows for this energy to flow. Now, more and more, you see how all these moving parts, when you know how to join them together, it becomes more and more one whole. As a result, when you're doing dynamic movement over the course of long-term and diligent training, now you know how to do JFM. Now you start to realize the importance of SOS, soft open and supple in the waist area, to allow for this energy to move. Now you start to incorporate breathing from your stomach so that you can empty the chest, allowing for this momentum energy to continue its flowing. Momentum energy, active releasing, constantly sinking, they all represent that quality of momentum energy. When we are doing two-person drills, and often I allow students to touch my shoulders, my arms, anywhere in the upper body, I say, do your best to disrupt my center. But go slow, because going slow develops your energy. It develops your listening. And what you're doing is you're looking for leaking energy when you touch me. But often Dana says, I can't find you, Wayne. How come I cannot move you? It's because of my momentum energy. The flowing is keep on going. You touch me on left side, you touch me on right side, the energy keeps flowing. It doesn't stop, because once you get into the internal system, understanding and practice, it's constant. It doesn't stop. Because the reason why it doesn't stop is because of GAP, gravity, alignment, pressure. As long as you stand, you have energy. That's your weight. That's your mass. It has to go somewhere. You want it to go down. You want it to keep on releasing. And you want it to be sung. With those qualities, and you understand it, when you're doing two-person drills, that's how you receive. That's how you neutralize. And that's how you redirect. And when you understand that foundation of momentum energy, when you do 10 drills, you're very comfortable. You don't need to be apprehensive. You don't need to feel like you become, razzled by this incoming force. And when you have energy of CCC are also becoming more and more embraced and part of the overall picture of what you're applying. You have to have a quiet mind. Without the quiet mind, you're not in the present moment. If you're not in the present moment, you don't have momentum energy that's constantly releasing. If the heart is nervous, if it gets razzled, if it gets off alignment, then you won't also have momentum energy. And then, of course, the body becomes tense. You won't have a calm body. So all those moving pieces play a part in its totality of what is momentum energy. How do you cultivate it? By the practice that we do. First and foremost, you need to be mindful of its importance in terms of everything that we talk about. And every time you practice, you understand that this energy needs to be constant. Okay? And when you're doing the form, when you're doing meditation, walking, you don't lose your balance, because momentum energy also connects with internal balance. That means that everything is part of the stillness. You are applying the internal balance how it's done. You're not using like right side or left side to find your center. Everything is sewn right in the middle. So when you move from your center, you have internal balance. When you do stillness training from your internal balance, now you have your center. So everything plays a role in how it is done. And what benefits you'll get, it's tremendous. That's the direction that we're going. Okay. So those are the why, the how, and the what when you're doing and how to describe momentum energy. And we'll come back to review that from time to time as you make progress. Then you have a better understanding of momentum energy. So we'll talk about that again in the future. That leaves a few minutes open for questions or clarifications on what I just talked about or something that you want more clarification on.